Hello everyone, welcome back to the Java tutorial series here on my channel. Sorry about the little hiatus since my last episode. New year has rolled around since the last time I put up an episode, but I'm just kind of getting over being sick, so sorry about that. But hopefully I didn't forget how to code in Java. All right, so anyway, let's start. So last time we were talking about variables. I have the class here. So we talked about all the variables that personally I feel you'll be using as a Java programmer. There's some other ones. I guess these are the ones that I kind of feel, at least I've never used really at all. I've only used the ones up here. But anyway, today we're going to talk about arrays, which pretty much is just a list of variables. So let's say you wanted to, I don't know, have a list of numbers. You just want to put all the numbers in a list, just to store them in one spot that you could go later and view them. So let's say we want to do integers. So if you remember from the last episode, an integer is just a regular, whole number without a decimal point. So the way to declare an array for an integer would be to say int, just as if we're going to make an integer variable, but right after the int, we're going to put two square brackets, just open and close brackets. And that's just going to signify that this is an array. So we'll say int, two brackets, and then after that we're going to say the name of the array. So we'll say nums. I don't know, you can call whatever you want. Just like any variable, you could call whatever you want. Equals. Now there's a couple things we could do. We could just say, we could go like this. We could just say 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then that'll declare nums. What is this? Arrays only room 2? No, okay, that's fine. So this is basically just saying that we declared an array, but we never did anything with it. So don't worry about this little error if it gives you one. So we just said that this array here is going to have 4 numbers in it. All right. We could also say, do the same thing. Int. We'll just say nums2 equals new int, and then we'll say it's 4, oops, not 45, 4 numbers long, so we could store 4 integers in here. So now let's say we wanted to put a number, nums2, actually, so yeah, those are the two ways that you can declare an array. Otherwise we could just say kind of int nums3 and just put a semicolon at the end there, and we kind of just laid out to Java that we're gonna have an array. We just haven't put anything in it yet, so this is just an empty array. All right, so I guess those are the 3 ways you could declare an array. Now let's say we wanted to put a number into nums2 here, because we have 4 empty spaces in the array and we don't have anything in them. So the way to do that would just say nums2 and then open and close square brackets, and then inside of the square brackets we are going to tell Java which spot in the array we're going to put the number in. So the way programmers count is by starting at 0. You don't start at 1 really ever. So if we wanted to put a number in the first spot of nums2, so imagine this is nums2 but just without the numbers in it, just 4 spots. If we said nums sub 0, that will put a number in this first spot. If we said nums sub 1, it'll put it here, and then so on all the way to the end. So we'll say nums sub 0 equals 33. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Okay, so now we put a number in nums sub 0. Now how can we test to make sure that actually worked? We can say system.out.println. If you remember from the first episode, this is just the method to print out anything that you want, pretty much, and it'll print it out down here in the command line. All right, so let's say we want to print out nums sub 0. Right, now let's run this. Is this going to run the right run file? There we go. Yay, it ran. It printed out number 33. Now let's try to print out the number in the first position. Let's see what happens. 2 Oh, that's that's because we have to do. Oh, I put this in the wrong array. That's why. I meant to say nums2. So nums2. What? Hello world. Oh, it's running the first file that we did. So nums2 sub 1 has a 0 in it because by default it just puts zeros into the elements until we actually put something there. So if we say nums2 sub 0 rather than nums2 sub 1, it will say 33. And if we go back to just nums sub 0, it's gonna go back, it's gonna print 1 because I accidentally put a 33 into the first spot of here. But now I put it into this one instead. But now, okay, so we see here that we made this array have 4 elements. So what if we say, want to see what's in the 10th element of nums2? What's going to happen? It's going to give me an error, array out of bounds. So that's an error that you'll get a lot, especially if you start to make some bigger projects with different data structures that you might use a bunch of arrays to store some, I don't know, user accounts maybe. And you accidentally try to access an account that's in the 10th spot when there's only 4 maximum accounts. Then it'll give you this error. And then you'll have to go back and fix it. Well, so you come down here, you look at where the error happened in the arrays file on line 10. So we come over here, we say, oh, I tried to access the 10th spot of an array that only has 4 elements. So we just go back here and we could say 3, which 3 is going to be the last element of nums2 because there's only 4 spots. So if you count, we got the 0th element, first, second, third, which would be 4 total spots. So now if we run this, it's going to print 0. If I go to 4, it's going to give me that same error again. See, there we go. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I mean, there's, if you wanted to make, let's say, I don't know, a string, a list of strings, we could just say, the same way we did it with the numbers, but instead we put strings in there. We could say, hello world. Oops, word. Okay, hello world. And now if we wanted to print out hello world again, right, we could just say words sub 0 plus, and then we want to add in a space, so it's not just one word. So we add in a space, then plus words sub 1. Okay, and then we run that, and we get hello world. If we don't put this, if we just do this, that's going to give me an error because it's saying, what's it going to say exactly? This is not a statement because I'm just, putting pretty much two variables just next to each other without like any sort of connection between them. So if we just say words sub 0 plus words sub 1, it's going to print out the 0th element of words and then the first element of words. So what's going to happen then? We got no space. See? So you got to add that space if you want it. You don't have to always have it if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. That's the beauty of programming. It's all up to you. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Next time we are going to talk about really haven't decided yet. It's either going to be if statements or it's going to be for loops or loops in general, so that we could go through these lists automatically without having to just, say we want to print out all 4 elements of this list. With the knowledge that we have right now, we would have to say system.out.println nums sub 0, and then copy and paste this line 4 times to print out all the numbers. And we'd have to go here, you go change 1, 2, 3, and then we would print out all of them. So when we do loops, which I think I'm going to do next time, just because it'll be fresh with the arrays. With a loop, you won't have to do this to print out all these elements. It's much easier. So stay tuned for next time, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.